Hey guys, welcome back to Ender Trips. Another video, another feature. This time I've done a bunch of flowers. You can already kind of see them in the distance. I guess the reveal was already in the thumbnail because I'm definitely using these in the thumbnail. They're really good. I especially like the way they look in the creative inventory. So let's have a nice scroll and check them all out. In this video, we're just gonna go over them one by one and the cool features of these flowers. Basically, they're 3D. You can already see it. Most of them are randomly rotated if they are tilted in any way, unequally shaped in any way, like the dandelion. It's tilted forwards, right? So it has rotations. It can spawn in every rotation, and most of these flowers can, like the poppy as well. You know, the poppy also has slight rotations. I actually really love the poppy. This really invokes the spirit of a poppy, I think. And the model is really clever too. It's hard to get a good look at it, but it's kind of worth it to get it. You can see the model. It's a really special model. It kind of breaks the rules of Minecraft a little bit, but it breaks it in like a really elegant way. And I'm just really happy with this model. And then, of course, because it's a little bit complicated, I made the leaves of the poppy bigger, so you wouldn't notice the complicated model as much. Blue orchids, I mean, probably what you'd expect me to do, right? I mean, if you look at orchids, this is basically their shape. These are also randomly rotated, like the allium. Alliums actually have the most rotations of all the flowers. They also have height variants, just a subtle height variant that'll make it, you know, a bit more alive. Most of these flowers are actually unshaded. I can choose whether or not elements in models are shaded or unshaded, and it changes the effect a little bit. Like in this case, the head of the allium is affected by the lighting of the world, which is why the top is lighter and the sides are a bit darker. It's a bit hard to describe, I guess, if you're talking about the lighting of the game, but trust me, I've disabled the shading for most of the, well, basically all of the elements on all the flowers, except for the head of the allium, because I thought it needs to be a cube. It is a cube, and it needs to be lit like one. And the dandelion also has a cube head, but it is not lit, because I thought it looked lighter. I thought it looked more like flower petals, and I guess, you know, alliums are flowers as well, but for some reason I like them shaded, so that's where we're at. And this is like way too much detail, like nobody cares. I shaded the head of the allium and I didn't shade this one. I disabled the shading on this one. People don't even know what it means, disabling shading. I'll probably put in some clever screenshots. Anyways, the Azure bluet, Azure bluet, I don't even know, but it's a pretty flower. Look at me, showcase video, running past every single flower that I place. Very practical. No, let's have a look at it. It's very pretty as well. It's just what you'd expect me to make, right? Little flowers put on top of a cross model. That is the original stem, and then that's it. That's the entire flower. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's also really cute and really nice, and I would definitely use it. It really looks really cute when you hold it in your hand, though. All the flowers look different when you hold them in your hand. Basically, you're just holding a flower, which could have its own applications. You know, you're coming up to someone, like up to a lady or a gentleman, you know, and with a flower in your hand, maybe a little bit. No, okay, that's fine. On tulips, very alive as well. I mean, also what you'd expect someone to do with tulips, right? This is literally just the tulip. The default tulip is already like this. I can probably get a default tulip actually, because I didn't change the cows. See, there you go. It's a flower forest, so the cows should be colorful. And I didn't update this to the new flowers yet. These are actually like just little versions of the flowers, and I'll keep these the same. I'm not gonna make these 3D. Anyways, you can see the head of my tulips is basically just the head of the default tulip, right? So it's not like super you know, inventive design or anything, but I still think it looks nice. I did add purple on the inside of all tulips. I thought that really invoked the vibe of tulips, same way how I think my poppies really invoke the poppy vibe. And I did that for all of them. Other than that, they're all the same. They all use random leaves, actually. The tulips in default Minecraft, there's 4 colors of tulip, and they all have different stems, like flower stems. And that's really unsatisfying to me. Like there's this amount of randomization in default in that there's 4 different flower stems, but then they're all consistently linked to a color of tulip. And now I separated the color from the stem, so now every color head can have every stem, which is so stupid, but this is like, you know, my boy dream for doing it. I've never done flowers before. I don't know why. I guess they're kind of hard to do, maybe a little bit as well, but you know, it's like a whole code to crack. Like every flower requires different attention and different details to work, right? That's not a flower. I mean, it could have been if it wasn't this biome. but that's apparently plains. A few more flowers to go. Did we not show off? Yeah, we did show off these off. Lily of the Valley, there you go. Another great cute little flower that I also have something to say about. Like all of these went through a lot of, you know, time and effort and thought designing, and I think it shows. You know, it's it looks like a relatively simple model, but then there's some really clever stuff going on. Like again with the shading. The shading is like super vague to explain, and I don't even know if it translates to non-resource pack makers. But basically, the outside of the bell has no shading, but the inside of the bell does. So you get this really nice effect where it looks like almost like baubles. But then whenever you get like even a slight glance at it from an angle, you instantly see that they're hollow inside, and that's essential because if I disable the shading on the inside cubes, then that just, you know, it doesn't get darker because you disable the shading, right? So that's like an essential little tweak, like a little effect that makes these uniquely perfect. I don't know how he did it. That's a bit stupid, maybe, like my egocentric ass, but I think I like nailed all of these flowers. I'm like, I didn't nail them, come on guys, but like, you know what I mean when I say that, right? Okay, just moving on, I guess, to the cornflower, which is again a very pretty flower. Look at it. It's a bit complicated, but I think it represents the vibe of a cornflower. We can get, I like spectator mode. We can look at the model, even though you never get a look at the model this way. It is actually a bit 3D. You see that, which I think is reminiscent of cornflowers. And then they have a bit of a roughness to them, right? They look kind of like a wildflower, and that's definitely what cornflowers are, because I've been googling flowers, you know, for like 2 afternoons making all of these. I also redid the Oxeye daisy. Didn't change it much though. I don't hate the cross model. Like all of this seems like an attempt to get rid of the cross model, and it is a little bit, because it is lame that every flower uses the cross model. Like I specifically wanted different techniques, you know, that every flower required, like the attention that every flower needed. I wanted to give it to that flower. It sounds like super weird, but that's what I did for a long time. I was working on flowers, just a very flowery few afternoons. There you go. Put that in a wrap. I like the cross model. It works for the Oxeye daisy for what it is, you know. I didn't want to make it flat. Like I could make a stem like this and then have the flower part like flat on top of it, which is technically what Oxeye daisies look like in real life, right? But when designing these, it was also very important to me that they are visually appealing from all angles. So this one, you know, it rotates and it's red on all sides. You know, you can plant this in the flower, but it works from all angles. This one, it's tilted a little bit, but it is. I mean, I feel like a dandelion is like the wildest flower to have, right? Like if you're decorating with dandelions, like you're shit out of luck, and nobody does that anyways. They're like the worst flower as far as decorating goes. So maybe that theory doesn't really apply to those. But to the other ones, you know, they work from all angles. You know, I thought that was really important. Tulips, obviously, from the top, they're pretty. You get to see the purple, but you know, they're pretty from the side, right? That's how people view tulips, right? Isn't it? Cornflowers are just cornflowers, straight up. You know, nothing can go wrong there, rotation-wise. And even the Lily of the Valley, I made sure that it's interesting on all angles. Like if you look at it, if you have a house, you know, imagine that this is tree. Imagine, it's Minecraft. I don't have to imagine. I'll just build it. I didn't do a great job with this building palette, but okay. So here's a wall, right? And you're decorating your little wall here that you have with flowers. Look, you can just use lilies of the valley, and well, in this case, they're not even. They're facing, you know, really. They're really okay. This is fine. This is not. There you go. Well, this is the front. I'm trying to get a back face. Okay, face the back. No, come on. I'll just build around this. Okay, so imagine that this is your wall. I should have done this from the beginning. This is your wall. Get out of here. This is your wall. Look at this stupid face. You also get out of here. Come on, guy. Oh, he's so fast. Okay, so this is your wall. Look, the lily of the valley is facing you from the back. It still looks good. Okay, Jesus, that took way too much time to explain. But getting back to the Oxeye daisy, I wanted every flower to be accessible from all angles, and I felt like putting the flower flat on the stem was not making it accessible from every angle, and the cross model is just perfect. So all I did is improve the texture. I think I accidentally made a pixel art perfect Oxeye daisy, at least the flower part. The stem obviously is just Mojangs. I mean, I didn't really change it, but the Oxeye daisy, I felt like it needed changing, and then I did it, and I made this beautiful flower. So the Oxeye daisies are different as well, but they're not much. You know, there's no unique model, and it took me all the time to explain that, and that's fine, I guess. The most boring model got the biggest explanation. That's okay. And then I guess lastly we have the Wither Rose, which might be my favorite. I mean, I've never felt enticed to go get wither roses. You kind of just get them accidentally, obviously, right? Fighting the wither, and then that is kind of cool, I guess. You know, you use them, or not really. You put them in a chest because they harm you. Maybe you can put them in a flower pot. But now, I mean, look at these babies. I mean, you just wanna admire them. I mean, they are They are egocentric as I am. They are beautiful, right? Perfectly crafted. I mean, I'm not afraid to look at them from every angle. That's how you know you've confidently crafted a flower model, a convincing flower model. Like, I'm thoroughly impressed with my wither rose. They look a bit tattered, but that works as well because of the missing pixels here, which was essential. So there's no awkward. I mean, look, there's a little bit of awkward, like pixelage. You see that? I could tweak that, the awkward pixelage. But for the most part, a gorgeous wither rose. So me, the flower guy, not afraid to talk about how much I love my flowers. I'm a big fan of roses, to be honest. I think they're really pretty. Most humans like roses. That's not really a hot take. But anyways, I've thrown my passion for roses, I guess, into this model. For flowers in general, I guess, right? It shows how much I adore flowers, to be honest, right? If you look at all this. And the wither roses are you know, never thought I'd say this because, you know, they're so underused in survival, but they are definitely the peak of the iceberg for me. There's a little more I can show off about the wither roses. Another feature, we'll have to go to the nether for that. And you're gonna like this. I mean, I love this. I feel like this is perfect. I haven't seen anyone else do this. I previously had wither roses bloom. If they're placed in the nether, they would already bloom. But now I've done something else because the model was so good. I don't know, making this model bloom didn't make much sense. So look what I did. They're blue. Instead of bloom, they're blue. You know, I kept it with the theme. No, but obviously they're blue when placed in the nether. They glow too. And I think this is just really epic. I mean, the wither, when you spawn it, it does actually glow blue, right? And also the wither rose, it's actually the palette of soul sand, I'm pretty sure. See that? It's not wither gray, it's actually brown, like soul sand brown, I think. So soul sand, the colors of souls, obviously soul fire, all that stuff is blue. This is literally the wither palette though, so I'm gonna go for the wither cannon here. And I think this is fucking epic. This looks great. I mean, this just, I don't even know. This speaks for itself, right? I feel like I should just shut up. All right, I can't place him there. I can place him with this. That's good. I forgot that. Because I could place them on netherite, I almost forgot that you couldn't place flowers anywhere. But they just included netherite or netherrack into the oh, this doesn't work. Okay, that's fine. Anyways, I'm just gonna place a few of these, let them speak for themselves, and shut up. Okay, no, I won't. I can't even do that. Like, what the fuck? I can do it for a little bit. It will be super lame though. It's more about the spirit of how great they are. I mean, I feel like I can do it. Keep placing them. It's pretty satisfying. See this valley of wither roses? Valley of death. Holy shit. It looks prettier than it actually is. I mean, for the survival experience. It looks great. Well, now it's a bit much. Okay, well, I didn't shut up during that. But anyways, I've shown you these off. Lastly, I wanted to show off, did I already say that the wither roses going into the nether, that was the last thing? Well, anyways, I got another thing to show you. If flowers, if they're placed in item frame, they look pretty cool. Look at this. I've made this beautiful wall of item frames, and now you can decorate your base with flowers. Why not? And I can't disable shading for these. And you can actually see the effect here. This is basically what it means if shading is enabled, right? The shading is always enabled on items, so that's why these roses look a lot darker, these flowers, right? And that's there you can see my genius at work. I should have shown this for comparison. This was actually an easy comparison. Even the Oxeye daisy doesn't shine here, which is a shame because it's, you know, it's a default model. So that's just how item models work. But I still think this is valuable to be able to put them on a wall. This still looks great. It has a lot of decorative purposes. Cute flowers on your wall. I don't know if it makes much sense. Do people have flowers on the wall? Not really. You don't really have a bouquet and you stick it into a flagpole. Nobody really does that, but I think this is just really fun. I was modeling these, and obviously when you're modeling something, you go through all the display settings in Blockbench, and then I just did it, and then I haven't regretted it, and now this is a feature that I'm proudly showing off. All of the flowers can be placed in item frames, and then they look cool on your wall. Put them on your wall, maybe not, I don't know. That looks cool, right? It's a bit of a shame that my custom shading choices, you know, disabling the shading or slash enabling it, whatever, how that stuff didn't carry over to the item frames, but still. New feature. Why else put them in item frame, right? Like, I was scaling these up for the item frame, and I was just trying to have them be the same size as the default item in item frames. I was like, who the fuck puts flowers in item frames? you know, I guess the idea is to display flower. Okay, we get it. Okay, we've seen it. Is that the end of the video? I think so, right? Okay, new feature in my pack, new flowers. Really happy with these. There's also a separate add-on. Okay, people really like these, so I made a separate pack with just the flowers. It's on my mod rent page, and you can also get that. Okay, I think you should just try my full pack, barely default. I think it's cool, it's fun, it's the best. It's and also, you know, everything is tied together, right? Like style-wise and file-wise as well, right? So try barely default, try the full experience. But if you just really like the flowers, you can also just get the add-on, because you know, that's how you manipulate me. People were really nice to me on Twitter, and they were like, man, your pack is the GOAT, but could we also get an add-on? And then if you tell me my pack is the GOAT first, then I can be enticed, I can be manipulated. Just tell me my pack is really good, and so you know what, say it publicly. You know, that's how you do it. Look at these flowers, my fucking babies, dude. This is the best fucking thing I've done. Holy shit, no, that one's too big. Oh, but that means all of them are too big because they parent each other. All the other ones are fine though. Okay, found a little bug right at the end of the video. Can go fix that. I always drag on the outros. Why do I do that? I don't know. And I also, whenever I have to film, I do it at the end of the day, and I dread it the entire time. Like so much anxiety towards recording for some reason. You know, it is quite a weird experience. You know, you're recording yourself, seeing yourself back on camera as well. You know, it's very reflective on its own, which is a good thing. But sometimes you don't really want to do that necessarily. But anyways, a lot of anxiety around film. But then when I'm doing it, I'm like, fine, right? It went fine, right? Fun recording? No? What do you guys think? End of the fucking video, right? End it. Okay, bye.